throw it up. Start twerking like Miley. Oh yeah, twerking like Miley. Don't pop it like Miley.
Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Mason aka Xmas here, and this is Keepin' It Real, episode 3. And for this episode, my first topic, I wanted to talk about, unfortunately, Call of Duty again, because, you know, for some godforsaken reason, it's the only thing I hear about nowadays. But, so, Call of Duty is on the road towards, I think it's now like 2 million dislikes. It's growing in almost dispopularity, if that's what you want to call it. The hate has continuously just grown for the video, and I think it's gotten to the point now where a lot of people are hearing about it, and a lot of people that haven't even played Call of Duty or spent a lot of time on it are just simply going there to dislike a video, just to dislike a video. And then it's just preposterous and ridiculous, and people should not be doing that because there's no reason for that to be happening. And I think it's just, I don't know, I think it's putting a lot more hate on the video than it is actually doing anything productive, you know. So that being said, one of the other things I wanted to talk about was I saw earlier this week that a lot of pro Call of Duty players were actually getting their hands on the multiplayer of Infinite Warfare, and they said it was fun, engaging, it was fast paced, you know, all the keywords for Activision and shit. So okay, if we got that at least from a lot of pro players, which I feel like the community can trust, considering there are people that not only play the game for a living but literally play the game every single day of their life. You'd think that they know more about the game than the average person, obviously. And I'm sorry for sniffling, guys. I'm actually kind of sick right now, so I apologize for that. But, you know, they know a lot more about the actual game than anyone would actually think, you know. So, I mean, they know what they're talking about, you know. And a lot of people were talking about how, oh, well, look at it's another game, you know, conforming to the esports side of things. And honestly, I have no problem with it, considering I feel like esports is something that brings a lot of new players to the table, and if it's more esports centered, then I don't see a problem with it, considering CS:GO is one of the most esports centered games that I've ever played, and that game's still a whole hell of a lot of fun. And I don't think Call of Duty would be really missing anything by including competitive into the scene or like creating a more esports centered game. I think that would be awesome, actually, because I've been wanting that for a really long time, and I don't think it's just casual players that play the game. It's people like me that would really like to be in competitive and stuff like that and play the game like that. And sometimes, I mean, before Modern Warfare 2 wasn't that intuitive in terms of competitive Call of Duty, and Black Ops 3 is turning more into the kind of like esports game with more esports like features into the game and stuff like that, but still so much content for casual players as well. So I think that's really important to realize. So I'm glad that it's something that they're taking a chance to kind of recognize, because I don't think esports has been that recognized in the past. It's obviously become more and more important to certain games, but I like it. I think it's a good idea, and I think the community just needs to relax, because did you really think anyone else was really going to get their hands on the game before anybody else besides the esports people? You know, I mean, I don't think anyone else really thought that anyone else was really going to get a chance to play the game before someone who actually plays it for a living, you know. So that's my opinion on that topic. Secondly, what I want to talk about was the Overwatch beta ended not too long ago. The game comes out May 24th. I played the beta, and there's going to be a few extra videos coming out probably later this week and stuff about Overwatch. 2 characters that I really liked, Reaper and McCree, so you guys can look out for those. So the Overwatch beta ended, and honestly, it was probably one of the most hyped betas I've ever played in, considering that every time I went on to Twitch, it had at least 50 to 100,000 viewers every single day. And for a week-long beta, that's kind of ridiculous, because that means that your hype is so real that you're now competing with like top games. Like, they were in the top 10 at least all week, or at least top 15 at least all week in terms of games and viewership on Twitch. And to have that for a brand new game that's bringing something completely new to the table is kind of ridiculous. and I'm actually really excited for this game, considering it's a Blizzard game, and I'm assuming they're gonna have an esports feature as well put into the game soon, because that wasn't the full game either. And so I'm just looking forward to the game. I think it's gonna be badass. What I played was pretty cool. I thought it was probably one of the sickest games I've played in a really long time. And so a lot of the competitive, I really hope that a lot of like the competitive for Overwatch, or the esports for Overwatch, isn't just on the PC, because there are quite a bit of PS4 players that are very talented at the game but may not be able to afford a PC to be able to play the game and run the game. So I really hope that they kind of include PS4 into that mix, and so does UMG and stuff like that, and I think that would be really cool. Something else I wanted to talk about too was the League of Legends mid-season invitational was last night, so I'm recording this on the 15th, so it was on the 14th. You know, we had our own Counterlogic Gaming made it to the finals with a 7-3 record, I believe, in the group stage, and then moved on into the knockout stage, and they ended up beating our Flash Wolves, and they ended up taking on South Korea's team, SKT, or SK Telecom T1, and honestly, they played a really good game, and I feel like they made some mistakes. I mean, I'm not a great player at the game either, but we could all see that they made some mistakes, and you know, they never gave up, and that's what's important. And I'm happy that they made it that far, because I feel like they really made North America proud, and I feel like as a region we should be proud of our esports and where they are right now, because if you think about it, esports in America at least hasn't been necessarily the most successful in terms of like global competitions and stuff like that, especially with like League of Legends and stuff like that. So I think having CLG make it that far in the mid-season invitational, and now we have something to look forward to Worlds, is definitely bringing our kind of esports scene kind of, I don't want to say like into the mainstream, but it's definitely making it more popular, and I'm looking forward to like watching more CSGO tournaments and stuff like that, and making you know, checking out our new, or not really new, but you know, our esports scene and stuff like that, because you know, I'm happy that they kind of put us on the map, especially in terms of League of Legends, considering, you know, I just started playing this year, but I've, you know, watched old videos and stuff like that where people kind of openly mock them and stuff, and it's kind of, that's unfortunate, but I'm really happy they kind of showed up and played really well for this